Hi, my name is David Madawo. Welcome back to Ego Interviews. I have an exclusive interview with Erick Rush. How are you doing, man?
What's up, everybody? I'm Erick Rush. I'm cool. I'm happy to be here, man.
What was the song you just performed for us?
I just performed a song called Acceptance.
Acceptance. Make
Yes.
sure you check that out. How does Erick Rush come out with a song or an album or an EP, whatever it is? How do you get in the studio and you're like, hey, this is how it's going to go?
My last album is called Culture Shock, actually, and it features my dad, who's doing skits on the album, and the album is actually about my family's like immigration from Tanzania to the U.S. to here and all the other places. And throughout the album, my dad is talking about, different things that happened from different places that we lived in, also his experiences back home, and then throughout the songs, I'm talking about my experience as well. So I think, especially right now, I definitely have more of a, I guess, yearning to put more of my culture and more of my, upbringing into my music. I mean, say 5 years ago or 10 years ago, you're really about in the now, what's happening right now, what I'm doing right now. So definitely went through that phase, but definitely right now I feel like more about rapping about, things that are deeper rooted in my upbringing. Even songs like Acceptance that I performed, there's a lot of things in there that touch on that, things that I grew up on or different traumas or whatever that, I grew up on that from different places that I lived in kind of thing. So I guess now I'm getting, finding a comfortability and I guess being a little bit more vulnerable and open in my music and bringing people in kind of thing. Especially growing up, sorry to cut you off, especially growing up a certain way, sometimes it's, I always say like making music or any kind of art, there's a certain level of vulnerability in it. You're kind of like letting people in and letting people in on your flaws and, even the fact that my shit might suck, I'm letting you guys listen to my music and even criticize me and say this is weak, garbage or whatever. So there's a level of vulnerability, especially if you want to do something and be, do something at the best of your ability. I think you have to find a way to be vulnerable in it and, I guess sink in something in there that people can grasp on that's deeper than the surface level. People can grasp on and be like, wow, things like imagine being dead as a summer student. That's how I imagine residential schooling, I remember I was saying that line to one of my friends and he's like, wow, that's a good way of even just putting it, resident schools.
Visualizing it.
Yeah, visualizing it. So one of the most important parts of being able to do whatever craft you're doing at your best is being able to find some sense of vulnerability in it in a way that you can open up and I guess, even look at yourself in the mirror, look at yourself at your own flaws as well. Sometimes we don't want to look at our flaws. Sometimes we don't want to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I was fucked up when I did that. And we want to just like brush it off and act like everything is all G. But sometimes, sometimes it makes sense to, put it in that music.
So as we were talking about before, like with your background and adding that stuff, into your music and where it's important, where it's not, the one thing that I think an audience here would like to know, especially Edmonton, is here Edmonton is a very, I like to think of it this way, we're a city of immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we're growing so fast, even if they're immigrants from different cities that are here, still,
Mm-hmm.
from somewhere else, right? And the one thing I've noticed is we don't have a distinct sound.
Mm-hmm.
And you especially, I remember when we hung out, when I went to your studio session, I remember talking to you, I was just like, you don't sound like you're from here. You don't sound like you're from Toronto. You don't sound like you're from Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're from all over the place. So would you mind explaining, like, where are you from?
I spent a lot of time moving around, so I've lived in a lot of different places. Born in Tanzania. When I was 5, 6-ish, I moved to the U.S. Lived in Ohio, Georgia, Louisiana, Kansas. Spent my time moving around. When I was 13, I came to Canada. Stayed here for about 10 years or whatever. When I was 22, I moved to South Africa. Stayed there for 4 years. Came back around 2016 or so. Yeah, I came back around 2016 or so. But I moved around a lot, and I guess my sound, I mean, a lot of places that I go, and a lot of people who hear my accent, some people is like, oh, it sounds American, this and that, but a lot of times it's like there's aspects in it that I can't really pinpoint,
Yeah.
And I always say my accent is wherever I learned how to say certain words. Like
Same.
if I learn how to say this word in Louisiana, I say it
It's
like
that.
I say it in Louisiana. If I learn how to say this word in South Africa, I say it like a South African, just the way I said it, So a lot of the words in my vocabulary, sound different depending on the word. So I guess that does add to my sound kind of thing.
Who would you say is an influence of yours that people wouldn't expect?
I'll tell you an unexpected genre that like I'm in love with, that I listen to all the time. Oldies. Like oldies is like one of my favorite genres. For one, oldies for some reason oldies music makes me happy. When I listen to oldies, like it makes me happy.
Well,
and
describe further with that.
Like oldies, I'm talking about like 60s, 50s, like fucking, like it's just like like
old. The Papas?
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but like I get a lot of inspiration from songs like that, and little things from it. So I say oldies is an unexpected.
I bet you I know what it is. It's the songwriting.
Yeah, I'm really, really into songwriting, Mm-hmm. I'm just into like writing in general, like when things are written, like if I watch a movie and the script is bad, like I can't really watch it, It's like, come on, man, I could have wrote better than that, I could have wrote that line, So I'm really into writing, and reading and like the way people express what they do, and especially music back in the day, it wasn't even as much as metaphoric writing, it was just like that real shit that's like, wow, like you, like yo, you just said exactly what my heart was thinking right there. Like how,
Yeah, is that the way you feel about Sally at the milkshake shop? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel,
Sally. What do you want from the city? What do you want from the 780? Like, what can you?
Shit, if you fuck with me, tell me you fuck with me then, Shit, I don't need too much, I mean, one of the things that people don't always like to, I guess, show love in the moment, like all these people end up blowing up, right? After they blow up, now the whole city's like, yo, I knew you was gonna blow up. I knew you been the one, this and that. And it's like, I know you knew I've been the one, but how come you didn't, show me, and that's all it is, like fucking, knock on wood, but if I die tomorrow, I know fucking the rappers in the city be like, yo, Erick Rush was the truth. He was hard. He's one of the best in the city.
He was here.
He was here, this and that. So shit, all I want is fucking, shit, if you fuck with me, tell me you fuck with me. If you want to work, let's work. If you want, just, all I care is just, the same way I tell everybody, if I fuck with you, I fuck with you, and I'm trying to work. I'm trying to expand the city and expand what people think the Edmonton sound is and what people think the Edmonton story is. There's so many different stories coming out of here. So let's fucking get out there and share the Edmonton story, share the Alberta story, let them know that, hey, we're not fucking Toronto, but we're fucking YEG. We're not Edmonton. Fucking Vancouver, but we're YEG.
We're Edmonton. So my last question for you, which is obviously the most important towards you, is what do you have left coming up? What's coming up for the end of the summer, fall, and for the rest of this year? What's Erick Rush up to?
I got a bunch of stuff coming. So I think I'm gonna I dropped Culture Shock last year. I think I'm gonna drop the Culture Shock Deluxe end of August. I got Keeper video on the way. Acceptance drops June 30th. And then honestly, like I said, in the last couple months, I've recorded maybe 20 songs, So after I drop the deluxe edition, I'm just gonna start dropping music, I got too many songs. Y'all trying to work, I'm sending it out to people. Yo, get on this verse here. And I'm just dropping, but I'm gonna flood the streets. One of them is gonna blow the fuck up, and YG is gonna be on, you heard me? So yeah, man, I'm just dropping. I'm gonna continue feeding y'all, giving you music. If you fuck with me already, appreciate the support. If you didn't know me, start fucking with me, And yeah.
This guy closed himself. I was just about to say. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for meeting Erick Rush. He said all the stuff I was expecting you to say. But anyways, Erick Rush, thank you, man.
Erick Rush, appreciate y'all. Shout out to Eagle Zine. YG in the building.
YG.